Hey everybody, it's me, Shoreless. Welcome to Beneath Your Feet, my monthly research stream for the Beneath Your Feet podcast. And it's good to be back. I had to take last month off for reasons, life stuff. Things were getting super busy. I have a Kickstarter going on right now, which I'll link in a little bit for anyone who is interested in checking that out. School was starting back up. It was just too much. I didn't do an episode last month. And I will say I'm a little bit proud of myself because in ages past, the times when I have had to put this show on hold, it's really because of, just life stuff getting in the way. Sometimes it's because, I was losing a bit of interest in LOTRO because I've been playing it for a while. But generally it's because, I just get busy. So rather than hanging it up, we're going to keep this thing rolling. So greetings from the Shire here on the beautiful Treebeard server. I want to get my outfit sorted out. Yay, El Galadwin's here. Thanks for coming, man, and thanks for the welcome back. I appreciate that. I wish I could stream more. I just don't really have the brain power. I got too much on, man. Got too much going on. I'm here on Treebeard with my good buddy Holm the Brawler. And I have a confession to make. I'm not really sure where we're going tonight. You may have noticed I didn't put anything in the title because I had a few different ideas. So what I'm going to do, I want to try out this fancy poll feature here on Twitch. So I'm going to post a poll and let y'all pick where we're going to go tonight, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do. Since while I yammer on and do my little introduction. So here's the poll. My two ideas were as follows. I like the idea of the Brownlands. I didn't even type it right. I said where we go now instead of where do we go now. So that's cool. Cool. Anywho, I like the idea of going to the Brownlands because that's a rather unexplored, kind of mysterious part of the Tolkien Middle-earth legendarium. It's a really small part of the Lord of the Rings online as well. So that could be cool to look at, just kind of see what's what. But then I thought, man, last time we did Lugash in Mordor, which is a little bit grim. It's a little bit grim. It's a sad story. It's a grim looking place. And Middle Earth is full of happy, shiny places. And I realized I barely touched the Bree land in the show. And all the time this show has been running, I've never done, I think I did the Bree Town proper. I've never done the Bree lands, and I've never done the hamlets around Bree Hill, Combe, Archet, and Stadel. So those could be cool. And those are, very explored areas that lots of people have spent a lot of time in. But it could be cool. It's the Farmers Fair Festival. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Farmers Fair Festival. And that, that always puts me of a mood to go and hang around Bree. There's nothing quite like Bree in the summertime. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Or, if you got a suggestion, let's go for it. So there's quite a few of you there in the chat, and we're about halfway there with the poll. Jump in. Tell me what you want to do. I'd love to hear from y'all. Werewolf was asking about the Brownlands and the Great River. Yeah, so I would have to swap over to Landroval to do that, which I don't mind. I can I'll do a little song and dance routine. If y'all choose Brownlands, I can just pop over to Landy McLandroval. So if you're a newcomer to the show, first of all, welcome. What we do here is a deep dive. We go exploring into different parts of Middle Earth and just look around, see what we can see what kind of Easter eggs Standing Stone Games have plopped down for us, and generally have a good time, talk lore, see how these places tie into the books. And you guys I'm kind of putting you to work, sorry, to be honest, and you help me prepare for the next episode of the Beneath Your Feet podcast. And in this case, you're really helping me out because I don't even know what to do. All right, so let's see. What shall we do while we give the poll a minute? I know what I want to do. I want to show you this pub I've been working on. I'm going to show you where Willow, since this is your pub, technically. You did not. Are we still tied? Y'all. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. 1, 1, and 1. What are we going to do, team? And why is my game running so choppily? This is weird. All right, so we're going to peek into this little pub I've been working on, where Willow very graciously lent me her house. And then, man, I just don't know. Roll a D3, yes. Speaking of D3s, as I said, I have a Kickstarter going. We're in the last day, so if anybody's interested in tabletop role-playing games, you should check that out. Nothing like figuring out what you want to do besides sitting in a comfy pub. It's super rough. I should not be showing you this. It's a super work in progress. I'm not even going to show you this. All right. Let's go. Let's do the Brownlands. Let's do the Brownlands. Is this not? Yeah, look, we're looking a little rough here, guys. I got some cool stuff, but it's like, it's not ready. I don't know what I was thinking. So let me pop out of here and log on over to Landroval. We're going to go to the Brownlands because I haven't been there in ages. And I don't think I have done that on one of my characters. So let me switch over real quick. Strictly professional. Oh, give me a minute here. How's everybody doing? We've heard from my good buddies El Galadwin and Werewillow. How's everybody else doing today? DragonCon's coming up this weekend in the greater Atlanta region. So we'll probably pop down and check that out. It's always a good, strong showing for Lord of the Rings cosplay. They ended the Tolkien track a while back, a few years ago. They kind of rolled it up into the high fantasy track. There's still lots of good stuff. Oh, PAX West is this weekend as well, says Werewillow. That's very interesting. All right. We're back. We're back. So let's go to the Great River and check out the Brownlands. I think this is such an interesting place for quite a few reasons. So let's get there, and then we'll have a good talk. So this will be two kind of glum places in a row. We did, like I said, Mordor / Lugash before. And then we'll be doing the Brownlands now, but that'll be all right. Let's see. Let's find the quickest way to get there. What is the quickest way to get? We need to get to Stangard, which is in the Great River, and then we can head into the Brownlands from there. So to get to Stangard, I think that goes from South Bree. Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna pop over to Bree. Bing, bang, boom. All right. I'm also curious to hear how far some of you guys went with this nonsense with the Farmers Fair, because I feel like I went pretty hard. Our kinship on Treebeard, we did a bunch of those picnic runs, and man, I still don't have enough tokens to get what I want. I don't even know when it's ending, so we'll be in a real pickle here shortly. So, Galadwin, is there much Lord of the Rings content at PAX? Here we go. I don't know you. So we could be doing this. You know, it does sound pretty good. What is that back there? Wow, that's weird. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like the little reed pixels glitched, so they look like massive. So we could be. I think Brownlands is the right call. I'm going to tell you, because Comstaddle and Archit could be a really great episode, but I don't know that it's all that. It's so familiar to everybody, right? We all go there. The fest ended already? Oh my gosh. I'm a mess. Thank you, Werewillow. I'm just a hot mess. All right, here we are in the Great River. This, I think, was an interesting take. I did an episode on Rohan back in the day, and my feeling hasn't really changed. They did a great job with Rohan, but it's way too populated. Way too many people, way too many bases and forts. Oh, that's cool. Ogalwin says she got, back in the day, Amoria's collector's edition from the LOTRO booth at PAX West, but they've not had much of a presence. Yeah, I expect something for the new Moria and Gollum game. I'm actually excited about that Gollum game. Some people were poo-pooing it, but I think it's a really clever idea because you can see a lot of the major events from the book from a different point of view, from Gollum's point of view, and it's a stealth game, which hasn't really, I don't think, has been done before. I don't even think like the Hobbit video games that have been released had much of a stealth burglar element, so I think that could be really cool. And yeah, I just don't think Standing Stone / Lotro, I don't think has had much of a con presence. Obviously, they were at DevsCom this past week to make the big announcement for Before the Shadow, because that's a big deal. You know, they want to get some eyeballs on that because it looks like it's going to be a big push to get some people back, get some people into the game, and you know, I'm sure they're expecting a lot of traffic with the Rings of Power and such. That's a big old boy. What's up? Whoa! Am I even going the right way? Let's see. Yeah, we're good. But I just don't think cons are the thing they used to be for certain companies. Like a lot of smaller companies, it's a big deal because you can get face to face with people. Like I did MomoCon. My buddy Craig from Nerdburger Games is doing PAX East. He'll have his own booth. He did Gen Con. And so I think for like small mid-tier companies, whatever it might be, but especially with tabletop and video gaming, it's a much bigger deal because you get to make that connection. But like, for example, Wizards, I don't think Wizards even does Gen Con anymore because it's just not worth it to have the expense of going to this convention and flying your staff out and having a big booth fee because they basically cornered the market. And so I wonder if it's kind of the same for Standing Stone because they, not that they've cornered the market, but like they're just established. Lotro kind of is what it is, and a big con presence is probably not going to make a difference either way for them. But I don't know. All right, so here we are in the Great River. The Great River is significant for a number of reasons. When this was released back after, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the first zone released as a freebie after Mirkwood. Maybe it was Dunlin or Ent-wives. I can't remember. But it was a level 75 zone, so it wasn't long after, oh my. It wasn't long after Mirkwood, and it was an interesting transition out of Lothlorien because we can still kind of see some of these trees, these Malorns hanging around. Further north in the zone, up here in Thingolad, there are some elf ruins. And so it's a very interesting transition zone. And then, of course, in the text, the Fellowship came down here on their boats after leaving Lothlorien. And we get a fleeting glimpse of the Brownlands, really from the perspective of Aragorn. Because he says, I can't remember the direct quote, I'll have to pull it later, but he says he's been there and he genuinely doesn't know what's up with the Brownlands and how they got to be the way that they are. So if it's confusticating for Aragorn, Strider, then I think it's safe to say that for your average Middle-earth citizen, they would have no clue. And then, of course, we learned a little bit more from Treebeard, which I think we could talk about that in a second. So here we are in Rushgore. Let's place I don't think is specifically described in the text. It's one of the many spots they kind of filled in the corners with. Any excuse to have more turtles in the game. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I wonder what y'all think about this, because again, I like this zone a lot. I think it's really cool. I love the Kuth stand, which I think is that it over here. Where is it? Yeah, the Kuth stand, which is that massive statue of Eorl and I forget the name of the King of Gondor. And then Stanguard is a cool zone, and there's this. And my problem was that there's this huge fort just kind of right here on the border, where in a place where we know from the text that the Rohirrim were really wary of Lothlorien. Like, famously, Gimli almost has to cut Amir's head off because he doesn't speak very kindly of Galadriel. So it just seems odd that they have this massive encampment here, and they try to explain it away by I can't remember the exact story, but it's basically like, not like prison or something, but it's like if you're not doing so hot in the Rohirrim army, you might get sent there to watch the borders of the creepy Elfwood. So it's kind of here and there. It's, if you ever watch Scenario's Casual Strolls, he does a good job of breaking down some of their thought processes about why they did certain things the way they did, and why certain areas are bigger, and sort of their rationale for things that they've done. It's pretty interesting. All right, we're getting closer. I'm suddenly regretting picking a hobbit, as there's so many reeds. Not the most beautiful part. So obviously this game is known for its vistas. It's hard to get a good view from a river valley as a hobbit, although we do have a good look at some Gondorian ruins over here. That would be the ancient border of Calanarthon before it became the Mark and the land of Rohan. And I remember that being a terrible annoyance for a long time, because I just wanted to get to Rohan, but that doggone fort was there keeping us away. All right, these nasty brambles tell us we're getting a little bit closer to the Brownlands. So, like I said, in the text, we don't get a whole lot about the Brownlands. Frodo and Sam don't go this way. The whole fellowship comes down the river here. They go round. This would be about the point where Legolas shoots down the Nazgul. If we zoom out a wee bit, we can see they're going to come down around all the way to Nen Hithowel and Rauris Falls. And then Frodo and Sam go this way through the Emyn Muil. And then, of course, the rest of the fellowship goes through Rohan. So here in the Brownlands, we just get... and again, I don't remember if the characters actually see it or if Aragorn is just kind of recounting having seen it. I genuinely can't quite remember. Maybe one of you guys can help me out. But again, the line is that it's so dirty and blasted that he doesn't even know how it could have gotten that way. And then when we meet Treebeard, we find out that this is where the Ent-wives went. And the song of the Ent-wives kind of gives us a little bit of backstory on them. And then when we come here in the Lord of the Rings Online, this is the most eye-catching thing. There's some Dunlendings here. What's up, bro? And then there are this is the first time we get to see some Easterlings. And what I find most interesting about them and mysterious about them is this dude right here. These blue cast sorcerer types. So I'll go pick a fight with one pretty soon so you guys can see how they do. But I think it was very interesting. There may be some more background info out there that, I missed in quest text, or that the developers were a little more forthcoming about. But it immediately, for me, and probably for you as well, brought to mind the Blue Wizards. And of course, the blue wizards are peripheral. They're kind of tangential to the story. They only exist in drafts and letters and things of that sort. But we do know, like I'm in my party gear, we do know that they went east. And so now we have all kinds of questions. Like, all right, did they go east and create this like wizards guild for these blue cast dudes? What influence is there that we can find? I don't know. Let's see if we can find some now. So I'm a little bit torn. I don't think I want to do the quests here. I have not done the quest for the Brownlands on this character. So I don't really want to do them because that's just not really what we do on this particular stream. So we're going to skip that bit and we're just going to explore around because there is some really interesting tie-ins with the Ent-wives here. So this is yet another example of how the devs take just these little nuggets we get. A little description from Aragorn, a little bit about the Ent-wives, a little bit about the wizards, and they just kind of run with it. And immediately we're struck by this beautiful landscape. Even when they do it wrong, they do it right, because this is just, you know, not unlike Moria or Mordor or some of these Mirkwood, these sort of other miserable places. They did a great job of making this place look really drab. I feel like I could just take a brown pixel and make that the thumbnail for this video. In fact, that's what I might do. Is that funny? I don't know if that's funny or not. There we go. Here's our first blue guy. Our first blue man group. Let's go ahead and pick a fight. Whoops. Here we go. Haven't played. This is silly. What am I doing? I'm bringing festival clothes to a knife fight. That's just embarrassing. There we go. Now I look like I'm ready to fight somebody. All right, blue cast sorcerer. First, they get the name sorcerer. The only other place we see the title sorcerer is in Mordor with the Black Númenóreans, or, you know, Angmar, the sort of Sauron adjacent places. And this raises all kinds of questions. So let's see what this guy does. I'm going to try not to kill him in the first hit. Let's do. That didn't work, did it? That's embarrassing. So let's we'll find another one. Don't worry. There's plenty of guys to kill out here. This LOTRO, after all. Because I just remember them doing like they did a spell, like a little lightning bolt, magic missile thing. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's get him going without killing him. Nope, that killed him too. I picked the wrong character for this job. Ooh, that's cool. Let's see what this is about. The Kundalar. I don't think we see the Kundalar until the Battle of Pelennor. So this is a good place to park it and have a think. Because, as I said, there is a lot of different angles we can kind of approach this from. And lots of quest text, so for me to read later. Thank you. Where Willow suggests using a fishing pole, so we're going to give that a try next. I think I better have a fishing pole on me. But I think if we're going to think through what these Easterlings are doing here in the wake of the Fellowship, you know, it seems logical to assume that they're going to be preparing for their attack on Rohan, which, remember, there's like this three-pronged assault that Sauron tries to pull. It's not just the Battle of Pelennor, even though that's the coolest one that's described in the books and gloriously recreated in the films. Don't forget that I said three-pronged. It's like an eight-pronged assault. The Mirkwood Valley is attacked, so the Woodmen and the Bjornings are attacked. Mirkwood launches an attack on Lothlorien. Wayne Riders and Easterlings attack Rohan. And then, of course, more Easterlings attack Dale and the Lonely Mountain. And so there will be a battle here. So we have to assume that if they're building massive fortifications like this, then there's going to be they're preparing for part of that invasion, which is pretty cool, kind of spooky. Let's see what else we can find. Lashkar. Anybody know what kind of linguistic influence they used when creating the Easterlings? Because I'm not recognizing any of these phonemes. Not that I'm a language expert by any stretch of the imagination. All right, let's find us a sorcerer we can smack with a fishing rod. Said nobody ever. Oh, nice. I don't know what that does. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's see. Fishing rod. Do I really not have fishing rod? I don't even have... Oh, this is embarrassing. Don't have my fishing rod, nor do I have my VIP kit to let me access my vault. Oh, boy. Oh, well. Research for another time. I'll try one more thing. Because what I could do is just riddle him and then just wait for that to break. Then he can come punch me in the face. That's very kind of you, Godwin. I shall let you know if it comes to that. Let's try punching him in the face with my wee hobbit fists. There it is. All right. I fight for Coraton. Ooh, that's interesting. Anybody know what that is? Let's write that down. Okay, so he's doing a little magic. Oh, and I punched him out. I guess I could turn away from him. Let's try that again. Start the fight and then turn away from him rather than continuing to bludgeon him to death with my meaty hobbit fisticuffs. All right, here we go. He's a message shouter. What does that mean? Ugh. There, I punched him. Yeah, come on, guys. Let's go. There it is. Okay, so we got Coraton. What could that be? Coraton. What could that be? Let's consult the wiki. When in doubt, check the LOTRO wiki. You're fine, Roxo. Just hang in there, bud. Do a little magic there, are you, pal? What did he do? He poisoned me for one. Do a little more magic. Okay, let's see if the wiki has anything to say about the blue cast. Yeah, I guess I'll just have to go through the quest chain later to find more about this. Where Willow asks if burglar isn't a closet brawler. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how fast we can punch these dudes out. He's doing pretty good. Look at that. I would not mess with this dude. Punch me right in the kneecaps. It would hurt. Although having like a 70 level advantage might be part of the thing. Ooh, part of the thing here. Punch him. Boom. All right. So they do some spells that they talk about Coraton. Genuinely have no idea what that's all about. So let's see. All right, cool. Well, we got some reading to do, so we'll check that out later. What's up, kitty? But man, I feel like have y'all ever looked into some of the sort of unfinished plot lines with this game? It's crazy. There was a dude on the forums that put together a whole thread about all the loose ends that they've never tied up, or they may tie up one day because maybe this game will just go on forever until modern PCs can no longer run it. And especially if you think about the East, there's all the stuff we learned from not Karsgar, the Easterling general who plays into the Black Book storyline. When we go to the Iron Hills, there's a whole thing about like a massive earthquake, which is why the Zelruka and the Easterlings are coming. And so how does that tie in with like the Nameless and the Blue Wizards? There is so much for them to cash in on whenever we do go to the Eastern lands. Oh, Galvin says it would drive her crazy if she did not know what happens. Yeah, I get that. But I think to really sink your teeth into Tolkien, you kind of have to be comfortable with a little bit of mystery. Yeah, come on, Corridan. Give us a little monologue. I was talking about this with my buddy. I've been playing a lot of Warhammer 40k games, not tabletop. I don't have the money or the space to play the game properly. So I play like different Warhammer video games and board games and stuff. And part of the reason why I like Warhammer so much is because it feels like Tolkien in that it's like kind of unfinished, and there's lots of contradictions and loose ends and things like that, which somehow makes it feel more authentic. Because if you think about mythology and real world, or even certain historical accounts, there can be differing opinions and sources and things like that. So it just gives it a certain amount of authenticity. And that's part of the appeal of Tolkien. And so I think people get frustrated when they want tidy answers for everything. But I kind of like it. I kind of like the mystery of it all. That said, if there were like 20 plot threads just dangling here in the Lord of the Rings Online, that would make me a little crazy. But hopefully they'll get resolved in the next, I don't know, couple decades. If you haven't noticed, LOTRO's playing the long game because, I mean, spoiler alert, but the Black Book cashes in on basically a 15-year-long plot. Not a lot of mediums are able to pull that off. All right, we're getting closer to what I wanted to show you. There's not a lot to see here. Maybe the Brownlands was a bad idea. Maybe we should have done cheerful old Breeland. Because, I mean, look, there's just not a lot going on here. It truly is living up to its name. All right, here's what I wanted to show you. We are going to do this quest. I'm going to talk to this guy. Exactly. That's right. I think the Ent Garden is going to be worth it. Gnarl Stump. That's a great Ent name. All right, so he's on the hunt for the Ent-wives and their gardens. So we're going to pour some of this Ent drought onto the desolation of the gardens. Let's see what's going on here. Ent design in this game is always weird to me. Looks so gnarly. Like literally gnarly. Gnarl Stump. All right, here we go. So, like I was saying, we learn a wee bit from Treebeard that this is the way that the Ent-wives went. Very mysteriously, because they just loved the plants here so much. And nobody knows what happened to them. Okay, let's pour the Ent drought. We're going to find out what happened to him right now. Nothing happens. Man, this is sad. This is bumming me out. All these cool, gnarly looking trees. Let's do this. Little wisp-looking lanterns. Let's see. Can we get up there and get a little closer look? Oh gosh, troll. Get a little bit closer. There we go. That is cool. Oops. Let me try again. Hopefully you guys aren't getting motion sickness right now. I was showing my wife something on, so I cast my laptop up to our TV while I was doing some festivaling, and she was like, "Whoop." So that's cool. And it seems clear that they, even in the design, this is so different from other aesthetics and architecture we've seen, because it looks kind of elvish, but it's clearly not. And we know that the elves and the Ents had a relationship. This troll's making my screen shake. That's cute. And so it would be, tempting to say, oh, this is probably just some old elf ruins, but I think the tree-ishness of it all casts that into doubt. All right, let's see if anything's going to grow here. Ent Garden. Nothing happens. Oh boy, this is depressing. Where's our last stop? What's going on here? I guess this poor git just got stuck in the daytime. Sorry, bud. Okay, what is going on with these earthquakes? Is it just the trolls mucking around? Oh, somebody's fighting. That's odd. You don't see a lot of people in these areas. Okay, it's this hunter shooting trolls. That explains it. All right, let's continue on into the Ent Garden. It's very brambly. You guys. You guys. Nothing happened when you poured the Ent-drop, but you do see a large white car. You guys. Do you realize? No, stop it. Go away, lady. This is a beautiful flower. So the reason why I'm reacting this way is because they use the same flower in the Old Forest. It is always good. Where Willow was saying she didn't notice the lanterns before. That's partly why it's fun to do this show, is because why I'm a proponent of going back and exploring around when you're at max level. You can just take it in. So anyway, yeah, this is the, I'm pretty sure the same model was used in the Old Forest. Is it meant to be the same one? Because we know that the Old Forest was connected to Fangorn in an earlier age. The large white flower is beautiful to behold, but most wondrous of all is that it is growing in the barren and corrupt earth of the Brown Lands. They use the word corrupt here. That's interesting. What corrupted the Brown Lands, I should wonder? I don't know. The Gnarlstump will surely want to see this. Let's go talk to Gnarlstump. I guess this would be a kind of fountain, eh? Hashtag suddenly Canadian, eh? Taller than a hobbit. Yeah, check it out. Okay, now I want to go back and check out the Old Forest, but we'll see if we have time for that later. So I do have to keep it in a timely fashion today. Let's stumble around a wee bit more, see what we can see. The sun's coming up, making the absolutely dreadful Brownlands slightly less dreadful. But I'm afraid we have hit the zone wall, and our hunter friend seems to be as frustrated as we are bouncing off the invisible barrier. Ah, here we go. Last place. Oop. What did I do? Did I miss it? Ah, could have swore that thing popped up to ask to port again. Oh well. Okay, let's go talk to old Gnarlstump. And then I really do want to go back to the Old Forest. And just to see if it's, you know, there's always that weird line between what is a just kind of a game thing, like they ran out of flowers to plant, and what's intentional. So I have to believe that this is kind of a nod to the Ents and the Ent-wives and their connection to these different forest diseases. And again, you know, trying to be a good host, so if this first person view is like too wibbly wobbly, just let me know. There we go. I can't believe I missed that 2 times. There it is. Okay. Anything happen in here? Nothing happens. All right, Gnarlstump, we got some bad news, my guy. Hey! Ooh, safe fall. It worked. All right. Let's break the news to Gnarlstump and then see what we can see. That is a pudgy tree. Alas, nothing happened. Don't worry, I shall not ruin this stream with my Ent voice. We did find the flower. This is grown by Thimbrethil, Treebeard's wife. All right, I think the rest of these are just... Trolls, foul beast made by Morgoth and mockery of Ents. That's an interesting tidbit. Which could lead into a much larger discussion about corruption and orcs and things like that. But that's for another day. Okay, I don't really want to fight these trolls. What I really want to do is give... we're going to give the Brownlands one last lap, yeah? And then pop over to the Old Forest, see if we can make the connection. See, look at that. These jerks have contraband brohiric shields for belt buckles. It's just rude. The sheer cheekiness of it. Oh, what's this? I'm guessing I do not have the quest. Maybe I do. What's in over here? Uh-oh. The feeling this is not going to be more than a troll's den, but let's make sure. It looks remarkably like the trolls' dens in other parts of the world, like the troll shaws, but let's go scope it out. Shall we? These kind of green caves always make me think of Skyrim. Nope, nothing to see here. Just a bunch of trolls. Doing trollish things in a trollish way. Alright, let's check one last spot and then we'll head back to the old forest. Boys, you really need to tidy this place up. Have some self-respect. Maybe I should have some self-respect and find my way out of this thing. Oh, goodness. How do I get out of here? Love a good glitch and troll. I could sing a song. I could sing Sam's Song of the Trolls, but I'm not gonna. Probably more entertaining than whatever's happening right now. Or not happening, as it were. Oh, I forgot. I don't have a knife equipped, so I just punched a troll in the leg. And now he's chasing me. Cool. Alright, this ain't happening, man. Well, I guess I better finish this fight, eh? Can't do that in combat. Hello. Wizard should know better. This has been an exciting detour. And there's a strong chance I'm going to have to port out of here because I'm hopelessly lost. Let's see if the map will be of any help. Oh yeah, we're almost there. I think this is... There we go. Is this where I came in? I believe it is. Alright, we made it out. Just barely. Okay. So we got trolls, we got Ent-wife gardens, we've got blue cast sorcerers, and a whole lot of nothing. I feel like I should know more about this. Like, I feel like there was some story about Sauron just being so irritated with the Ent-wives that he just burned this whole area down. Somewhere in the back of my brain. I don't know if that's correct or not, so we shall do some research after this stream. All right, so not a lot going on here, but we did find... This is interesting. What is this? I don't think I've seen this before. Okay, so this is our ticket to the east. So one day, who knows how many years from now, the wall will come down, and this might lead us to the land of the Easterlings, Khan and things and such like. Man, I don't know about you guys, but these barriers drive me crazy. And I had a discussion with this. I think maybe we did it in Kin Chat, Willow, where I mentioned how I much prefer, like, I would rather have just an invisible zone wall than the sort of rock formations that form a zone border. That's just me, though. All right, let's go back and check the old forest before we say goodnight. Do I have a port? That is the question. Sure, this will work. All right, so we're gonna go to the Shire, Bree, Old Forest. Actually, you want to know what? We're just gonna mithril it. We're gonna coin it. All right. 2 coins in this economy. Okay. Feels good. Feels so much better to be in Breland. Oh, you just feel the clean air, the cheerful sunshine, the lack of trolls and murderous sorcerers. It's a good feeling. So let's go Yeah, we're going to try and find those flowers. Because my thinking is, even if these flowers are exactly the same, like they're all the same model, the fact that they planted it in that ant garden tells me there's a connection. I just want to confirm that before we wrap it up. So I think that could be a very interesting train of thought to follow. Now, if you thought me getting lost in a troll cave was bad, you have not seen me lost in the old forest. And the best part is I may have already done this deed on this character, and so I may not even be able to select the flowers. Strictly professional. If I remember correctly, there should be one around here. Let's see. Oh, I know what. What am I doing? I think even if I've done the D, the flowers are still there. Ah, interesting. So Jinjara says they use the same model and names for flowers in the Gladden fields. So you're saying, what do you mean the same names as the old forest flowers? Okay, let me check something real quick. Huh. That is extremely interesting. Why do you think they did that? Gladden. Let me look at this. Okay, so. Okay, so one of those flowers is near where we are, but now I want to look at the Gladden fields. I'm having a brain meltdown here. Where's the Gladden? That's where the ring was lost. Come on. Huh. So why would they have the same names and flowers there? Yeah, is it just like... Now we're going down the rabbit hole for real. If you hear me typing furious, if you think you hear me typing furiously, you do. Ooh, Bacchus has an interesting suggestion. It has something to do with the river maidens. That is interesting. So I don't remember the flowers there at all. Was there a deed or a quest? Okay, so where Willow says that the flowers do have to do with the river maidens. Okay, so am I just reading to... There's a quest. Okay, I'll have to go back and do that one. So I totally forgot about that one. So do we think... Am I reading too much into this? Could there be like a connection? But obviously, Goldberry is the river woman's daughter, right? There's Bregalat's flower. But we know the Ent-wives came through here. And as Ginger says, the Ent-wives did travel far and wide. That was like their deal. They're like Johnny Appleseeds going around planting stuff. Yeah, Bacchus, we just found the one in the Brownlands. So, okay, so now I'm even more curious because you guys might remember that in Gondor, there's a whole quest chain. I think it would be Western Gondor or Central Gondor. I can't remember. In this area, there's a whole quest chain where you work with you try to convince the river maidens to help you out. I can't remember quite where it is. Maybe it's over here. So now I wonder if there's flowers over there. That's very interesting. We always stumble on something curious around in this podcast, don't we? So now we're gonna have to change the focus of the episode to the flowers. The mystery of the flowers. Heck yeah, we gotta. We might as well, right? So you're saying the names of the flowers in the Vale of Anduin have the same name? Breakalod. Breakalod is the name of an Ent, right? I'm looking it up. Yeah, Ent-wife, yeah. She was an Ent-wife usually. Yeah, that's the text from the deed. That's in the wolf teens. Thava. Okay, so you were right, Ginger, in that it is. Yeah. Okay. So the. Oof. My brain's firing on all cylinders. Got to put it all together. The quest that Werewollow referenced is, sorry, I'm looking at the wiki. You guys are staring at this flower. Was the Gulthava, the river maiden, kept the flower in remembrance of Breagalad, the Ent-wife. So clearly there was some friendship connection between the Ent-wives and the river maidens. That's super interesting to me. That's very interesting. Okay, so clearly I didn't take old Roxo here through Gondor, so we're going to cheat and use mithril coins. Do you guys remember what part of Gondor those rivers were in? Because I cannot remember. It's not Eric. I think it's Lamadon. Lamagod? Lamadon? Ringlow Vale? Lamadon? No, because this movie came up through here, through central Gondor. Airings, this is all haunted lands. Lower Lebanon? All right, let me look it up real quick, and then we'll crack on here. Lynn here. All right, great. Thank you, guys. Let's go to Lynn here. Oh, that's Lynn here. Okay, great. Let's go. Yeah, I remember the quest line about the lake and the missing child. I remember it visually, but I'm with you, Rose Tyler. It's been quite a while. I did it later on. I didn't do this when it first came out, but it's been at least 2 or 3 years since I did it. So I remember like the water, and I remember what it looked like, but I don't remember much else. So let's get to moving here. We had my favorite music in the game. It's so good, even if it's a bit depressing. All right, let's check the map. And we're just going to head up this way. Yeah, exactly. I remember the surroundings, but never the map. And it's funny, too, because I remember this area with the River Maidens being, like, really cheerful. But it's, it's clearly not. Because it's, it's like before the Battle of Pelennor, so there's lots of smog in the air and things like that. So I don't know what I was thinking. I was part of a streak. It was like a 6-month streak. It's like every night I was playing this game on my laptop while my wife was watching TV. So it's like this weird mixture of memories. Astrobear, thanks so much. Appreciate you checking out my YouTube's channels. Werewillow's mentioning the tribute baskets to the River Maidens. Because this is the question where you make those baskets to try to get the River Maidens to help you out, right? And you're saying there might have been some flowers in there. Ooh, that is so interesting. Fortunately, I do have a hard stop in about 5 minutes. So with the mystery of the flowers may have to wait. But I'm very pleased and happy to have discovered it with you guys tonight. This is super fun. One of the baskets is in the middle of the bar and the Merry Swan. All right, a Gallad one is on the case. What are you doing out here? Oh, you're a vandal. Stupid. Thanks, Rose Tyler. Yeah, I try to keep it first person. I think it's just because part of the purpose of the stream is to just engage with the landscape as much as we can. So I don't usually do quests, and then so I do like to do it with the UI off at first person as I'm able, as long as it's not making anybody dizzy. Okay, I remember this lake very well. I remember cleaning up all this crud, and I remember there's a river maiden up here. So we're gonna spend the last few minutes with our time together, scoping it out, seeing what we can see, and enjoying the lovely music, crossing our fingers that we may find one of these flowers. And I do, speaking of playing in first person, I have started trying to play with the UI off in first person as much as I can. Man, it's so nice. Like, it really only works for festivaling, because I was doing a lot of Farmers Fair runs, obviously. But, like, just clearing out the UI and enjoying the landscape is super nice. And I don't even have, like, a super cool monitor or anything. I'm just playing on a laptop right now, and it's still the best. All right. No flowers yet, but the flower quest will continue for about three more minutes. I remember this area very well. I remember this waterfall. No flowers. I guess, okay. I guess it's entirely possible. Okay, there's a river maiden. Sup, roaming star. You look familiar. I guess it's possible the Ent-wives didn't come this way. I don't know. Yeah, dude, heavy immersion. That's the word for it. Play this with an Oculus on. That sounds fun and disorienting. All right, team. I think there are no flowers to be found here. So now we have to work out some geeky fan theories about why. Did the Ent-wives just not come this way? Did these river maidens not like the Ent-wives? I don't really know. Let me check one more spot, then we'll call it quits. We gotta make sure we go to the Merry Swan, though, don't we? How's that going, El Galadwin? Almost there. Oh, you're the best. Thank you. You get co-researcher credit for this episode. Because there ain't nothing happening here in Gondor. I mean, it's gorgeous. Gondor is definitely one of my favorite zones. But there ain't no flowers in these parts. Coming up goose here, people. Ah, well. All right. No flowers to be found here. Let's check one last thing before we say goodnight. One last fun fact about the Brownlands. The name in Sindarin for the Brownlands is Baranir, which is interesting because it was never fully translated, but it's something to do with the name and the color brown. That's a good point. Now, Galadwin has made it to the Merry Swan and does not see the flower, which she says maybe the basket isn't exactly the same as the real ones. That's a great point. I don't know. All right. Well, guys, this has been an awesome time. I've had so much fun hanging out with you guys and creeping around Middle-earth and uncovering the mystery of the flowers of the Ent-wives and the river maidens. And so I'm going to do a little bit more research. This episode should be out, not this weekend because DragonCon, but probably next weekend. So make sure you check it out at LOTRO Beneath Your Feet. It's pretty much, if you just search up LOTRO Beneath Your Feet, you can find it. There's a link to my YouTube channel in the chit chat. So yeah, thanks so much, guys. Thanks, Ginger, El Galadwin, Werewillow, Rose Tyler, Bacchus, who else is just hanging out with us tonight? Anyway, thank you guys so much. You can find me online, mostly at Twitter, at Shoreless Guys. Don't forget, LOTRO Twitter is where all the fun is happening. We'll see you guys next month. Talk to you next time when we go beneath your feet. Bye.